All right, we got Leandro calling in, the SummerSlam 2 winner.
Champion.
Captain.
Hello?
Captain Leandro, what's going on, brother?
How are you, sir?
I'm
How
good.
You doing?
I'm good, man. Just living the dream. We're talking Jersey Devil, aliens, chickens, pretty much everything.
Underground chickens.
Underground chickens, species, all that stuff. But hey, man, I'm really excited you called in. You kicked butt in the SummerSlam Part 2.
Oh, yeah.
The weather was insane.
Thank you.
You guys were definitely warriors, and it was awesome, man. So why don't you just maybe fill some of these listeners in on like what you went through out there, what was the tournament like, and then finally, like, what did it feel like to finally, someone like you who's fished our events for years, what did it feel like to finally win it?
Well, first of all, hi to you guys. Congratulations to you. Welcome to parenting life.
Oh, thank you, brother.
It's about to get excited now.
Expensive, I think you meant to say.
No, man, it was pretty good. It's a title that I've been looking for a very long time. I've been fishing your tournament since
Forever.
I believe the first one was in 2014. I don't know when you started this.
2010.
Not familiar with.
But you were there for a long time.
Pretty long ago, yeah. And I guess, all the local guys, that's all what we want, get the first place. And finally, this last summer, it was my time. But it was pretty good. Weather, as you know, it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
I didn't hear much action in the radio during the whole day. So, once I called my kingfish, I knew I had a pretty good chances. I never knew I was going to get first place. But I knew, I had good chances to be in the first three places. I'm one of the guys that it doesn't say anything when I catch a fish, and many of the anglers are like this. So when I got back to the beach, I got back a little bit early. It was 1:35, and I got to the beach at 1:35, and you remember that I gave you my kingfish.
Oh yeah, you were stoked.
You told me that nobody have catch anything yet. Nobody came with any fish, and so one of the reasons that I came a little early is because after I caught my kingfish, I put another light bait out, and then like 5 minutes later, I got lightning strike pretty close to me because when you feel that in your body, I felt it. I don't know. It was like a weird reaction of me. I just felt something that was not right. That's why I decided to come back. You
know what's funny, Leandro, is that there was one time I was out there, and I also felt it almost feels like static electricity, and it was my hair was standing up on my back. It was the weirdest. It was just the weirdest feeling. But yeah, I know exactly that feeling, so I could feel you on that. It gets scary.
Yeah, that's when I give up.
I know.
That's when I stop. Like, as soon as I see lightning, dude, for you and me, like, we live here. It's not like we came from Texas or something to come and try to win a championship.
Right.
I get out of the water immediately. Like, I don't risk it. I don't try to play hero to catch a fish. Like, I may be a big old giant baby, but I'm going to pull over.
You push it as far as you can.
Yeah,
right.
And then you go
home. Exactly. That's exactly what I did. But then, I remember another guy was near me, and then he looked at me and says, like, I'm done. And I'm like, yeah, I'm the same way. And we start heading back. And then, I start getting cramps because I pretty much did trolling all day. And with this current, it was, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of exercise. And my legs were like, they were done. And then that's what I decided. Like, I'm like, for me, that's pretty much it. I know I'm heading back early, but, whatever. I mean, I have my fish, so whatever I place is good to me. I'm happy with myself. And that was it. When I got back, it was 1:35, and I haven't seen some of the anglers that I know that they're pretty competitive.
Right.
Including John McCoy and some other guys. I didn't see him back, and I'm like, maybe this is not,
you thought you had it. You thought you could win.
Exactly. So I was like, 25 minutes waiting on the beach, and then these guys came. They didn't catch any fish. So it was pretty good. I mean, I always have a good time. I always have a great time. It's like I tell you, it's not for me. This is not about going after the money or anything like that. It's more like going to have fun,
right?
And meeting new people, meeting new friends. It's like a family.
It's a family.
When we get together and we talk about fishing. We talk about the stuff that we like.
Right. And that was my goal. When I started Extreme.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Yeah. I never. It was funny because the first year you never picture like what it can turn into, right? And when you're first getting into it, you just got these big question marks over your head because you just don't know like who you're going to meet, what's going to happen. And let me tell you something, man. Going on my 8th year doing this, I've met all my best friends I've ever met in my life, like doing this. The guys like Fred, guys like Kratz and Doug, and just I never would have thought I would have been in the Bahamas or Texas or met people from South Africa, China. It's really crazy. And you're absolutely right where it's all a family, I mean, it's just it's such a close-knit group that has been created through all this mayhem.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. Like, because of your tournament, the South Africans came here. I met them. And I'm going to South Africa this coming month because, and there's, and cool. I'm not have to pay for anything. When those guys come here, like, they'll stay at my house. People will stay at my house. Like, we talked about this before, but like, same thing for everywhere else. Like, if you go somewhere else, because of this place and because of this tournament, I'm not gonna have to spend a dime there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna have to spend any money. I'm not gonna have to pay for, to rent a hotel or a car or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Be with the people who came because of your tournament.
And that's what I try to tell people, Leandro, is that like if you're in it just to like win a big check and go home, you're never going to be satisfied.
You're not going to have fun.
And that's
that's true.
That's what you see. So I mean, the guys that come and they stay and they do all the festivities, like staying behind for other anglers to win, and guys like you, goes to the kickoff parties no matter what. You bring your kid, you bring your wife, you have a good time. That's why you have fun doing it. And I always try to tell like these new kids that are getting into this, don't do it for the money, because if you do it for the money, you're always gonna have disappointment. Always.
Well, you're gonna be, it's first of all, they're really, really good anglers, myself not included.
Correct.
But who like yourself, like, dude, you're some of the first kayak fishing. Like, if you search kayak fishing in Pompano Beach, your videos show up, right? And those are from 2010, 2011. You've been doing this forever, and you just now won. Like, if your plan is to come here and like win that tournament on the first try or second try, like, good luck, dude. It's probably not going to happen. So you need to really be, you need to buy into the program, not the result of it.
Exactly. The program. You're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Buy into the process, not the results.
Yeah. And that's why guys like you, Leandro, winning, I love seeing that.
Yeah, me too.
Because you're part of that team, you're like I said, you do everything to kind of make it all go. And I've been watching your YouTube videos for years, so I appreciate it.
You know what's funny? You say that. Everything started like back in 2013. I've been fishing since I'm a little kid. My dad used to take me. I'm from Argentina, and we don't have the same fishery that is down here. But a friend of mine came with one of those very old kayak, like 9-footers, the one you sit in.
Yeah.
And back then I was living in Hallandale by the Intercoastal, and we were having a barbecue, and I never ever got into a kayak before, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna bring my kayak so we can have fun with the kids or whatever. So I took the kayak out, and this is just a short story how everything started. And I took the kayak out, and I was in the middle of the canal. Everything was silent, and I'm like, why I'm not fishing from this thing? I had to be and land and cast. I can be like in the middle of the canal and just drop my line down here.
Yeah.
And then later on, I went up there and I went to YouTube, and believe it or not, I typed kayak fishing, and the first video that came out, it was a picture of you holding that wahoo.
Yeah.
A wahoo that you brought it back with a jet ski or something like that. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
And that's when I got hooked. I'm like, I just cannot believe this guy caught this fish on a kayak. Fishing offshore. This is what I like. This is what I want to do. So 2 days later, I went buy my first kayak.
Nice.
And then I start seeing videos of you, videos of this guy Palm Pete.
Yep.
Palm Beach Pete.
Yeah,
I wish I had him on the
exactly.
show.
And doing some jigging, and I'm like, I just can't believe it. Actually, I still have the picture. I don't know if you remember that you took with my first bonita. We went out. You were there, you Joe, and you took a picture of me holding my bonita in Pompano.
That's awesome.
Wow, that's great, man. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny.
It's crazy how it all kind of comes together, you know? That's really cool.
I know.
I never heard that story from you.
Really,
that's cool. That's awesome.
I really appreciate, like this is like something, I think it makes a lot of us like, be very excited about, competing again. I don't know you guys, but most of us like are in like in the 30s and the 40s. Some guys are in the 50s, and when you get opportunities like this to be surrounded by other people, and then get on stage and people kind of like cheer up you, it's just pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So that's one of the reasons why I'm in every tournament. I can't wait to the next to January. So I'm definitely going to be there.
Awesome. You better be. Awesome.
You got a reputation to uphold.
And believe
now.
it or not, the last
sailfish?
What's it called? The sailfish tournament. Yeah, the last sailfish tournament. I hooked my first sailfish at 8:15 in 100 feet of water. Oh. Nobody have caught anything yet. And then I lost them on the first jump.
Oh,
I can't believe this.
That's the worst.
I know the sailfish tournament's tough, man. I've seen guys like Austin. He almost had 3, and he had his hand out, and the line was barely there, and he went to grab it, and it snapped right when he clinched his hand closed.
Oh man!
And he missed it. And
that's painful.
Yeah, that tournament, it gets a little tricky. I mean, people have opportunities like Richard Chavez. He almost won. But he lost the first one. And, guys, that I love that tournament because it's so edgy. And, we had that one year where it came down to the second,
Yeah, I lost 17 on the first day.
Sure you did, Fred. Sure you did.
And also it's like it's something for everyone. That's a funny thing. I mean, you could have some knowledge of how to do your lines, your knots, everything else, or what to use, but anyone can win. That's the fun part about it. It's not like, of course, if you have more knowledge and than other people, your chances are better. But like again, and this is a game for everybody. Everybody can win. Everybody can catch a 50-pound wahoo or
of course,
or, a 50-pound king or whatever.
That's the beauty of pelagic fish.
This is what makes it, more excited.
Yeah, that's the beauty of pelagic fish versus like a freshwater sort of like bass or something like that. Like the guys who know bass fishing are going to win bass fishing tournaments more than if you just try to go out there and wing it, because those fish do certain things.
Strategy.
Whereas, dude, saltwater fish are everywhere, man. Like you could be, you can be in dirty water, clean water, and, we've seen tuna in 50 feet. We've seen tuna in 400 feet. So, yeah, I mean, if you're doing the right stuff, you present your baits properly, like those fish can be anywhere in the water column.
Anywhere, and anyone at any time. I mean, guys from Oklahoma won the sailfish.
Oh, yeah.
You got a guy that came from Cuba that got a 59-pound wahoo. I mean, you just don't know. No, anything can happen. But again, though, it's with the consistency. I do say that if you're consistent and you keep plugging at it,
definitely.
Yeah, and you keep fishing it.
That's definitely important.
And just firsthand because you've been consistent. You're there every tournament. You're learning more. You're getting on stage, and then all of a sudden, this is what happens. You win.
Leandro, where do you live? You live a little bit out west, right?
No, I'm in Hollywood. I'm in between I-95 and Dixie Highway.
Okay. So you're not.
I'm a little bit east of 95. Yeah, in Hollywood.
And you typically go out of Dania, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It's well, you'll know when I don't have much time to fish like maybe the other guys do because according to work, family, and stuff like that. And
sure.
So that's why I choose Dania. First of all, because it's like 5 minutes away from my house.
Sure, makes sense.
And the lounge is like very close. Like as soon as I park my car and I just walk like less than 30 seconds, I'm already right in the water.
Oh, that's the beauty.
Perfect.
The beach is so small there. Yeah, the beach is really short. Like, unfortunately, Pompano, we have this
huge.
Like, it's like 50 or 60 yards from.
I know.
It's great for events.
Yeah, it's like 50, 60 yards from the concretes or like the pavement or the sidewalks. So like, you know, if you have to park 2 blocks away, some guys do, they don't want to pay for parking, so you have to troll your kayak like 2 blocks and then 50 yards across the sand.
I know.
That's like half of the workout
but on
the day.
But on the other hand, it's like, you know, you're like in 80 feet of water in I don't know, like in like 20 minutes.
Yes, you don't have to
go
go
with Dania or maybe Miami Beach.
Takes a while.
That you have to work a little bit more. Yeah. Like on my birthday back in last month, September 20, and I decided to take the day off. You know, after working all day, I'm like, you know, I need to take the day off, and it was funny because, you know, I put in my head I wanted to catch a big fish on my birthday. I mean, I have to catch something good. And I heard some reports of, you know, there been wahoos going on up north in Boca. So I went there with another friend of mine, and believe it or not, you know, I don't know, you probably see it on Facebook, but you know, I troll blue runners here and there, different depths and everything, and 5 minutes before I decide to come back, I hook a wahoo, and you know, it's just like, is this you know, you say like right
on
the day of my birthday, yeah, it's just, you know, doesn't get better than that.
And it's a mindset. I do believe that mindset is key as well. Like, you know, there's guys that go out, Freddie, and they're always like, I'm not going to catch a fish, and they never do. And I was always the type of guy that whether I was on a boat, a kayak, or even a floating piece of wood, I always knew that I'm going to catch a fish, you know. And
when's the last time you fished off a floating piece of wood, sir?
Confidence. I don't know. New Jersey?
Never.
Maybe?
He's never done that. He's just making that up. Right
Yeah. Well, Leandro, I got one more question for you. What advice would you give some of the young anglers that are coming into this sport that want to fish these events and give it a try? What would you tell those guys?
Well, it's just like I tell you before. I think one of the most important thing is just come here for the fun and not for the money, because, you know, the fish eventually it will come. You know, I hear many guys that say, "Oh, I want to catch a sailfish." That fish for me was like a dream come true. You know, and it'll come. You know, I mean, I have people that lives in Argentina and also in South America that, you know, they see those pictures and they go like crazy. And,
right.
And, you know, we have this fish here like everywhere, like pretty much like all of the guys they fish here, they caught sailfish already. But that's I would say like that's one of the most important thing. And the other thing is be consistent. You know, when you go out there, like you said, just keep put in mind of yourself that you are going to catch a fish. You are going to catch a fish. Eventually it'll come. Don't put any negative things. Don't use music, because I'm against music. I think music and fishing, they don't go together. It's just like having a banana on your boat.
I like that.
I don't listen to music either. I know a lot of people do. I know Bobby is like really big into music on the boat, but I find anything that makes noise is bad, because the boats, you need to hear them to be safe. I mean,
how do you guys feel like when you go fishing, either kayak, boat, or whatever? I mean, to me, it seems like the music kind of like bothers me, you know. And I don't know. I mean, I used to hear like old fishermen that, you know, if you make like a little tiny noise right next to them, they kind of like, you know, get out of here. You're not.
Oh, that's
true.
true.
Here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. To me, you know, they don't. You know, music and fishing, they don't go together. It's just like if you go fishing, just go fishing. You know, and spend your 6-7 hours just looking for the fish, and now just listen to music and dancing or whatever. And fishing is fishing, music is music.
And this is where I really agree with you, because Fred and I went fishing one time, and Fred was on his phone the whole time doing Facebook Live, and he wasn't focusing on the task.
And Joe didn't catch anything either.
I caught all these fish on the jig.
These fish.
And Fred didn't get a bite, and he got all. Yeah, and he's sitting there doing his little Facebook stuff like a teeny bopper.
To be honest, he didn't catch anything.
And he didn't catch anything, and I think that's Fred's problem. Maybe we can get to the bottom of this. When you fish, you're a little too interested in your phone.
What happened when we went peacock fishing?
I caught all the peacocks.
Oh boy, I
I
have video evidence, sir.
Oh, here we go.
I destroyed.
Well, Leandro, listen, man, you killed it out there. You did awesome, and I really appreciate you and what you bring to the tournament. And I love to see the good guys win, and you are definitely a good guy in this tournament series. So, hats off to you, bud.
Thank you very much.
You are the man,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Good job, buddy. Congrats.
Thanks for having me, and we're definitely going to see you next year.
Oh, 100%, man. Hey, by next year, let's see, SummerSlam. There'll be a little future extreme kayak fishing director. So that'll be cool. I'm excited.
I don't even know what you just said.
That would be awesome.
Little Joe.
What are you hoping for?
Oh, Little Joe.
I'm hoping for a healthy baby.
Oh, boy.
That's what I'm hoping for.
He wants a boy so he can dress it in Raider gear. He wants a boy so he can dress it in Raider gear.
If I have a girl, I can dress her in Raider gear.
Is it sad to know that the Alabama Crimson Tide could beat the Raiders?
That's not true. Listen, the Raiders just have bad luck right now. They're
gonna
be fine. So, all right, Leandro, listen, man, we got to end this thing, but I appreciate it, buddy.
You're the man.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right, buddy.
All right, see you, bud.
We'll see you in the next tournament. Take care.
Definitely.
Bye-bye.
See ya.